So I used to play Ryu when I first started playing, which was back in August, and I was doing okay. I was coming from Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, where I would be getting, like third, fourth place, pretty consistently. But then I always felt with Ryu that I never felt like I never felt like I was in control. I always felt like it was a struggle. Like every time I won, I would just feel like it could have easily went the other way. And then two of my buddies, Jason Cole and Evil Elvis from back in SoCal, they told me that I should try Balrog because Balrog is more my style. That's what they told me. So I'm like, okay, like I'll give it a shot. So I played him a couple games and I was like, well, they're okay, but I lost my train of thought. Like Balrog is good, but I didn't really know what to do with him. And then it was after Evil Elvis like kind of showed me like exactly what he thought I should be doing. Then it all made sense. It all came together, and I went.
Was it that clicked? What was it? Like, is there any specifics?
Yeah, specifically, you have Standing Fierce, low roundhouse, jab dash punch from max range, and down fierce when he jumps. So he was like, well, what you can do is cut the screen in half, stay to the left of the timer, and pretty much like defend your ground.
So it's a turtle.
It was more like it was more like a turtle-based game plan.
Yeah.
And so I did that, and the very next day I went from from fifth place to second place,
Wow.
and it was
Funny how those things just click.
yeah, it made a lot of sense. And since then, I mean, it's pretty much been like 100% Balrog all the time. I mean, now since I've been over here, I've been having. I was kind of on the fence about whether to pick up an alternate character, but now I'm like, yeah, I definitely need to pick up an alt, and that alt might be Ryu, because I have a lot of experience with him from then I can do the combos and.
Have you checked it? Have you ever gone down to Chinatown Fair?
Yes,
Okay.
I went to Chinatown. I've been there twice.
Yeah.
I didn't really play there. I didn't really play a lot of games, but I was there. And it's a very cool place.
Yeah.
It's a very cool place. It's very unique.
Your SoCal.
Ah.
It seems more gritty than.
It is more. It's definitely more gritty. I mean, you're in Chinatown. It's New York. There's a lot of people there on Friday and Saturday nights. It's.
But you got your pride. You represent SoCal. So
Yeah. No, it was cool. We went down there and everybody wanted to play me, so that was cool. I got to play like some of the local players. That's always a lot of fun, because it's not very often that somebody from SoCal or anywhere. I mean, in Street Fighter we don't do a lot of traveling.
I know.
So it's the only time that we get to travel is pretty much like Evo. So for me to be out here for pretty much a week and a half, it's a unique situation.
Seriously, no.
Yeah, it doesn't happen all the time.
I get. So when you grew up did you grow up in LA?
Yeah. I lived in LA all my life.
Has the arcade culture changed?
Absolutely. I mean, now we have, when I was a kid, I was like 10, 11, 12 years old, and there used to be an arcade in the city. I live in Monterey Park, which is about 15 minutes east of downtown LA, and we used to have an arcade there called Pirates Cove. And I mean, I played there, for years, man. I mean, my mom would drop me off, and I would play there for the afternoon, and then my grandpa would pick me up.
Gamers there that like taught you.
I was like 12.
Yeah. But did you ever have like a formative experience where you like met the first time you met some
The
sort
first
of
time I met
mentor character?
the first time I met a top player, like where I was like, whoa, was at the Cal Poly Pomona arcade, and this was maybe
Describe the guy.
2005. It was Mike Watson.
Oh.
Yeah. I was like, I was pretty scrubby in Third Strike still, like really scrubby, and I was like, yo, like that's I'm pretty sure that's Mike Watson, because I would read about that dude in Game Pro, or online or whatever. So I went up to him, I'm like, are you Mike Watson? And he's like, yeah, bro, I'm Mike Watson. that's like the worst Mike Watson impression ever, but that's what Mike Watson sounds like to me. But yeah, I mean, the culture's changed a lot, like all the arcades died out, like that arcade that I mentioned, Pirates Cove, it ain't there no more. Pac-Man Arcade in Pasadena, it ain't there no more. Southern Hills Golfland, not there no more. Well, the format of the GameStop tournament it's not the standard. I mean, it was 4, well, no, because it was 4 out of 7 rounds. And Street Fighter is 2 out of 3 games, 2 out of 3 rounds. I don't believe that he would have been beaten that way. I'm not saying he would have won. I don't think he would have been beaten that badly in a regular tournament, because he would have switched to a different character, because Rufus versus Ryu is not a good match. So he would have switched. And that's what a lot of people don't really understand. Like, you know, like everybody's paying attention to the fact that Daigo beat him down like 4-0. But it's like, well, one, that's not the standard format. Two, Justin wasn't gonna switch characters because like it was just an exhibition match. And he had already beaten the Japanese national champion. You know, he beat the Japanese national champion and the Korean national champion. So